Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's day 55 of 60-day reading challenge, and we are reading this book, Getting Things Done by David Allen, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. And we're going to read the chapter 5 to 6. So before I start reading, let me just check whether this video is live streaming everywhere or not. So give me a moment and I'll be back. I can see that it's live streaming on my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. So these are the 4 platforms that I stream. Anyway, so without any further ado, let's get started then. Alright, so I hope you guys are doing well, and if you're reading with me, thank you so much. So we're going to read from chapter 5 to chapter 6, and let's see how many pages that we really need to read today, because that's important, So there will be almost around 33 pages. So yeah, that's not too much, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. 34 pages, I guess. Yeah, 34 pages that I will be reading. Not so much. Yesterday it was like 51 or somewhere around this. So let me just check if everything is well. Okay, so let's just read. And yesterday's chapter was really fun, for at least for me, because I did not speak much at the last chapter, but the thing was that I really enjoyed it because it was talking about tools, all the tools that we need. And when someone talks about tools, that what are the tools that you need to actually set your productivity system up, I am like so much excited. Okay, these are the tools I'm gonna need very much. So I'm so super excited. I get super excited when I read this kind of stuff. Yes, anyways, so let's just start the music and read. Thank you. So as we reach to the part 2, that is a practice of stress-free productivity, we read this chapter like setting up the time, space, and tools. So what is the time and space and tools you're going to need to set things up. After you're done setting up, I'm reading today like capturing and the clarifying things. So you need to capture and then clarify. So the author is actually talk about in details that what are the things that is going to happen, like what is the capture and excuse me, what is the clarify. So capturing is like corralling your stuff, and clarifying getting into empty. So in whatever you put into your inbox, like wherever you capture all your stuff, you need to empty it. That is called clarifying. So yeah, let's read. So yeah, here David Allen talks about a very important thing. It says that if you gather stuff that is there on your mind, and if you keep gathering more, that will give you clarity on your mind. So because what even if it is any unfinished task that is in your mind, if it is still there in your mind, it is going to take up your energy and time. So believe me, that is going to take up a lot of your energy. And here is a nice thing. He says that until you have captured everything that has your attention, some part of you will still not totally trust that you are working with the whole picture of your world. So you're not going to trust the system anyway if you don't put all the things in a system where you can check, like, these are the unfinished tasks that I have. So it can be anything, like moving your printer from one place to another, and maybe your remote is lying somewhere that you need to fix. So these are all the things that is there, there it needs to be done, but it is not urgent, nothing is blowing up, so you don't care much. But even if you don't care, there is it still takes up a lot of energy and space on your mind, and that is not really right. So here is, with that context, here is a nice quote that I'm going to read, which says, you can only feel good about what you are not doing when you know everything you are not doing. So it's very nice. So you're going to feel bad if you know that, okay, that is the thing I should be doing but I'm not doing. But if you know exactly that, okay, I am not doing it, and I am 100% know about this, I'm 100% aware of this, that I'm not doing this, it, it's going to have a different kind of impact on your mind, and that is the thing he's talking about. So you need to capture everything, each and everything. So he takes that it will take around like maybe 1 hour to 6 hours, depending upon what your however mess you have created, right? So he says that, and that's the thing I think I faced a lot of problem with, because actually I was relying I thought that, okay, it will take like 5 minutes to actually put everything in my inbox, that what are the things that is capturing my attention. But honestly speaking, that it takes more than 5 minutes. But once you do it, it's just like, then after that it breeze, the process is like super smooth. So it's not like that I put each and everything on the inbox. Still I need to do a lot of work there, because I'm still reading the book, and I'm 100% devoted that I'll be doing it. And today I have some commitment, but maybe tomorrow I will be doing this, and I'll be posting this on my Instagram as well. So yeah, so if you're still here, thank you so much, and let's read what are the else thing that he needs to talk about. Okay, great. So guys, I'll be back in 30 seconds. So So guys, I'm back again. Let's read. So here are some important insights that I read. So I'll be back in a minute. So yeah. Alright, guys, I'm back again. So let's just read. Uh, so this in this chapter, he talks about a lot of things which I don't actually possess, but I'm still gonna read it in case if it is going to be interesting for you. So he says that we need to put in each and everything in an in tray or whatever you call it, because before you start capturing each and everything. So capturing doesn't really mean that whatever is in your head only. Capturing also means that whatever is lying out there in your room or maybe in your office as well, right, that you need to deal with. So suppose you have a table drawer and that drawer is like totally messed up. You put each and everything in an in tray. Maybe you have a bedside drawer which is totally messed up. You just put it in your in tray as well. So maybe suppose you have an wardrobe which has a drawer as well, which is also messed up. You put everything in your in drawer. And if you think that okay, recently I just organized a lot of things in that drawer and I don't want to touch that, you also put that thing in your in drawer as well. So here is the thing. He says that if you do all the things collectively, then you are going to only trust that system. Otherwise there is no way that you are going to trust this system, right? So you put each and everything in your in drawer, and if something you can't really put in your inbox or whatever you call it, suppose you have a huge poster to deal with, yeah, and you don't know what to do with it. You can't really put it in your inbox or anything like that. You just write a note about it with a date that okay, that is the poster behind that door that I really need to take care of. You just write it in your in your post-it note or whatever, and you put it on that inbox, right? Great. So here are some materials that stays where they are, like supplies like all the stationery and everything that you may have, like you use some highlighters to mark your books or anything that can be, right? It's like staplers and anything, right? Or maybe pencil. Reference materials like all the materials that you may have to refer to for the later part, right? Some decorations like your pictures and coffee mugs that you have, that you may use it regularly, right? Some equipments, maybe you have some camera and some mobile phones, and some camera accessories that you use. You can keep them apart, and you don't need to put them in your in tray, right? So here is the thing. So here people actually face some issues with putting this doing this kind of capturing. So these are the issues that I described here. But here is one more issues that people have, is like, but I can't lose that thing. So when you're putting each and everything in your in tray, the purpose is to like get rid of most of the things that does not affect you, or that does not, you don't care much about it, right? So when you're putting things there, you have this notion, or you have this tendency like, okay, I can't really get rid of this thing. So here's the thing you need to do. David says that he don't talk about like leaving things, he don't talk about minimalism here. So people, he says that people often think that David Allen is talking about minimalism because you are putting each and everything in a single place, and if you don't need anything and you're just getting rid of that. He says that if you really need something and if you really want to keep something, keep that, okay? Because if you don't keep that, otherwise you are going to constantly think in your mind that, okay, if I would have would have that thing, my product process or workflow would have been better, and maybe for that thing I'm not doing better, right? So you should keep it. Here is the thing, if throwing something away is uncomfortable for you, you should keep it, right? So it's not like you should throw it away, otherwise you would have attention on the fact that you don't have something that you might want or need, right? So it's very important that you keep it. So you do this process with floors, walls, shelves, and equipments, furnitures, and fixtures as well, because something may be bothering you about this. So you just do this. Maybe you have some cabinets as well which is totally filled with a lot of stuff, and maybe some stuff that is nostalgic for you as well. Suppose you get some recognition award from your office or something like that. Maybe you have worked for like 10 years or maybe 15 years, and you have got like so many recognition award here and there, each and every month, maybe somewhere. So consider whether your collectible and nostalgia items are still meaningful to you. So when you get these items, ask this question, that whether this item or the collectible that I have, does it really create this nostalgia in me? Do I really need to keep that? Okay, if the answer is yes, then you should keep it. Otherwise you just throw it away. And maybe he did not mention it here, but I highly recommend that you take a picture of that item. Take a high quality picture of that if it is possible. If you have a DSLR camera, take a high quality picture of that and get rid of that item totally, okay? Because you will have and you just create a folder in your photos or wherever you actually keep your cloud documents, and you just put it there, so you can go back to that anytime, so if you really want to see, right? Cool. So he's talking about mental gathering, the mind sweep. Let's just read. Okay, so if you're thinking about like all the things that is taking up your attention, it is on your mind. It's not like that, it is somewhere external as well. So he talks about the external part till now. He's now talking about this internal part, that is our brain. Our brain consists more thing than our external stuff that we actually collected in these sections, right? So now it's time to brain dump. So let's see. This book is like a guide as well somehow. I think so. These are all the trigger points that he has mentioned here. You may check that if you forget something about regarding any of this topic here as well or not. So this is very beautiful, sir. So I have faced this issue, like whenever I'm sitting there to write whatever it is on my head, and just to clear my head, I don't find anything. Actually, whenever I'm just relaxing, I'm not doing anything, I just suddenly remember something. So that really happens. So for that purpose, he has given a huge list where you can like check all of this thing. So yeah, I'll be taking a break for 2 minutes and I'll be back soon, guys. So guys, I'm back again, and here he has given like all the things that you may forget in your collection when you are actually collecting stuff from your brain, that whatever is in your mind, and you're just writing all of this down. Because think about it, if you have never done this thing in your life before, you're not going to come up with different kind of things in your mind. Maybe you write something and he always says that it's all about like quantity, not quality. Maybe you can write shitty stuff as well. Suppose you want to download some hot girl's picture, maybe that's in your list. You just write it down as well, but later you can junk it if you want. So put each and everything that is in your mind, right, and you just write it down. Okay, so that's he's talking about here, and all the examples that he has given, that is the trigger point that you can use this like a guide to check that if you forget something in these areas or not. I think that I'm gonna use this implementation triggers. So I'm just gonna use this here. So I'm just gonna use this, and I will be using the whole list here, trigger list, to check if I forget something while I'm doing this practice actually. So yeah, it's not really a practice, guys, it's totally kind of things that is going to improve your life, obviously, at the end of the day, right? So yeah, let's just read. Here he gives a very nice tip, like emails are best left where they are because of their volume and the efficiency factor of dealing with them within their own subsystem. So you just leave your emails for now, and let them be where they are. I think I'm can say a little bit things about email, because I get a lot of emails each and every day regarding my, because I do have a YouTube channel on the software, and people like ask for helps, and there are some subscriptions and all the newsletters that I have subscribed to. So all of this news, all of the emails that comes to me, and I also have other brand like ImpleBooks, where I get different kind of emails regarding the books and Goodreads, and some authors also sometimes email me, which I don't really respond to much. But the thing is that here I actually get this kind of emails, and I really need to process this up, because I have been processing emails for like a long period of time, like 4 or 5 years. I know that my inbox it does not look bad. I always believe in inbox 0, because I really feel that some of my emails needs to be on some folder, even if I am not reading this immediately. So that's what I believe in. So that's why my inbox is not like full of emails. I might, if you check in any random day, if I don't check my email for like 2 days or 3 days, you may hardly find like 60 to 70 emails on my inbox, and nothing more than that, and all the emails will be like unread. So I always think about like getting my inbox to the inbox 0, and all my newsletter goes into my folder, goes into another folder called newsletter, which is I have a filter for my folder name is actually pocket/delete. So I actually check all the emails, and I just because it's a newsletter, I need to click on some links, maybe sometime. So if I can read that in details, and I just add it to my Pocket. So Pocket is a software, know that it's basically for read later. So whatever I want to read later, I just put it there. So Pocket is like my Pocket looks totally shitty, I would say. So there is no organization or anything like that, and I like it that way, because I put it there for the read later, and if I don't want to read anything, I just don't read. But it has a good collection of data in there, but I can't really organize that, and it does not take up mental space of my head, I would say. It actually clears up my mind and clears up my things that I really do care about, like all the emails that I get, whatever the things I really need to do. And I actually try put that newsletter, put that email onto my Pocket/delete, and I just keep checking on all the things whenever I get time. And if I find some newsletter, if I find some articles from that newsletter very interesting, I just add it to my Pocket. And if I think that okay, I really must need to read that, I just add it to my Kindle tag on my Pocket, and it automatically syncs up with my Kindle, because I use a service called the Crofler, which basically helps me do that. So yeah, a lot of things are like in the automation. I'm just saying it, you may think okay, it's too much complex process. It's not like that. I just add it to my Kindle, and it automatically syncs up. Yeah, that's beautiful. This process really works with me, because I just when I open my Kindle, I just see that okay, there is a new ebook like created from that article, and I just need to read that, because I use my Kindle in a day-to-day basis, and for reading ebooks, because ebooks are kind of like cheap, because a lot of ebooks look so much expensive that I can't really have the physical copy of that until and unless I'm making any video of it. And yeah, ebooks just really works great, and reading in a Kindle is like a bliss, and I really like reading into the Kindle. So let's just come to the book here. So he says that David Allen says that if you keep something for the inbox like in for a long period of time, then it does not really make sense. Then this process is not going to work for you. So if you're thinking that okay, I'm collecting each and everything from my head, and whatever there is there physically on my office or room, and you just collect it and you just don't do anything about it, and you don't have a good clarifying and organization system, then this process is not going to work out for you. For that, you have the second chapter here, that is where we're going to read. That is the 6th chapter, that is called Clarifying Getting In to Empty. So you need to clear your inbox as well. You just need to put in each and everything there. And here he comes with this specific stuff here that we actually saw it again, saw this workflow diagram of clarifying. So just let's read. So here are some processing guidelines that he has given, because all the things that is there in your inbox, you need to process them in any way. So, and you don't delay this process, right? So here is a very nice thing about it, and it clears up a lot of things in my mind. Actually, this were the false thing that was going on in my mind. So the first thing he says, that process does not mean spend time on. So if you're thinking about, okay, processing, okay, I need to process each and every item that is there in my inbox. So so that you might be thinking, okay, I'll be taking a lot of time to actually process this kind of things. But here is the thing, it's not all about like spending time. Everything gets processed equally. The word process does not mean spend time on, it just means decide what the thing is and what action is required, then dispatch it accordingly. So you're just going to take a decision here and there that what is the thing is. Okay, you're just checking your inbox and seeing that, okay, this is the thing, and you just write an appropriate action that is there for, if you that is needs to be attached with that thing to actually complete that task. So you just think about it this way. You just seeing a thing in your inbox, and you're just thinking about what is the task, what is the next action that I need to be doing to actually get this thing done. So you just write this appropriate action regarding that, and you just process it. So this is called the processing. So it is not going to like you need to do that task immediately. You are not doing any task there, you are just actually processing things, right? So here he says about like LIFO and FIFO, like whichever the things that needs to go like first. And so he says that if you're putting some physical items in your inbox or a stack, you just need to flip it down. So you need to deal with the first thing first. So that is first in first out. And if you're dealing with like emails, you should do it with the LIFO, so that is the last in first out. But if you do it in a FIFO manner, if you're dealing with your emails and you're just checking the first email that you get, then you may know the conversation very well, so it's not really a good thing to deal with that first. So do whatever comes recent emails needs to be dealt first. So that should be in the LIFO manner. So he has given a little bit of idea. So the int tray is a processing station, not a storage bin. So if you're thinking about like, this is a very important thing. So if you're thinking about, okay, if I'm keeping something on the inbox, and that's the problem I actually face, I put each and everything in the like inbox, and I don't process them. Honestly speaking, guys, I have like multiple inboxes on my Evernote, on my Google Drive, on my laptop storage as well. But I don't process them. So that is a very nice thing that I learned today. I will be processing them, and for that I need to read the chapter organizing, and I will be because tomorrow is weekend, I will be doing this tomorrow, and it's fun. Tomorrow I'll be doing a lot of fun activities that I'll be posting on my Instagram as well. So this is the Instagram handle that you see right now. So yeah, these are all the fun things that I'll be doing tomorrow, and I'll be posting this. And yeah, because this is fun, like organizing is fun. It makes you feel like that you are working, but you are actually not working. So this is a form of procrastination as well. I highly recommend that you just don't go into that loop, like organizing each and every time. I used to do that. You just take some time out of your daily schedule, and you just organize stuff, and you schedule time to for the organization, maybe weekly, but you just don't do it like regularly. If you don't understand what to do, you just go into the organization mode. Don't do it for the sake of like procrastination. Just don't do it. Anyway, so yeah, let's just read then. So he talks about like you should not deal with all the items at once, because he says that Devlin says that people whatever it is there in your inbox or in item or in tray, whatever you call it, people have a tendency to like see all the items all together and think about it, which item should go in which way. He says that we should narrow down for focus to at least one item, the last item that is there in the first item that we actually uh, that we put there. So he says that we should deal with at least one item. And here's the nice thing: the first time you pick something from up your in tray, decide what to do about it and where it goes. Never put it back in. So whatever suppose you're thinking about, okay, I will be dealing with this email, maybe I will be dealing with call my mom section on my inbox, but you suddenly pick up and think, okay, I will deal with it later, and you just put it again on the inbox. He says that do not do it, otherwise the system is not going to work for yourself. The reason is this: the cognitive scientists have now proven the reality of decision fatigue. So that is something called decision fatigue, that every decision you make, little or big, diminishes a limited amount of your brain power, right? Deciding to not decide about an email or anything else is another one of those decisions which drains your psychological fuel tank. So when you're deciding that, okay, I'm not going to decide anything about this right now, this is also a form of decision, right? So suppose you see this, okay, call my mom, that is written in your inbox, and you are suddenly like, okay, I don't know what to do with it, let's not decide anything about it right now, and you just keep it in your inbox, put it back in your inbox again. That's the problem. Cognitive scientist says that it is called the decision fatigue, and you should not go back to it, right? So because if you're not deciding about something, you are actually taking a decision about something. As so think about it this way: not taking a decision itself is a decision that you make, that okay, you're not going to take any decision. Yeah, that sounds like very ridiculous, but yeah, that's true, right? So you should not do that. If you take something to process, you just process it. Maybe it will take you some time, like maybe it will take one more minute, but do process it, right? That is, I'm also saying myself, because I generally used to do that, and all the things I can relate. Okay, my inbox is actually, basically my inbox is stuffed because of that only, because I just think that, okay, I delay the decision. Like I said that, okay, I'm not going to take any decision about that, and I just keep doing this for each and every item, and these are stuck there. Okay, let's read. Guys, I'm facing some problem with the camera. I will be fixing that in a minute, and I'll be back. Alright, I hope that it will be fine. I don't know, maybe it's a software issue, guys. I really need to contact the developer of this application, and I think I should send him a mail. Today I will be doing this because I'm reading Getting Things Done, and I will be putting it on my inbox, and I will later process it. Let's see. My hands are still there on the screen, and my hands are still here, so I'm like 2% because of thanks to the software. I don't know what the hell is going on. I really need to report this to the developer of this application. So I really use this application called the Droid Cam OBS, which basically connects my phone to this OBS software that I use, that is Open Broadcaster Stream. Open Broadcaster System, I guess, software, I guess, whatever you call it, I don't know. So basically, yeah, let me just talk to you through this whatever I read here. So so he says that so in some cases we maybe are in a doubt, like what to do, what not to do, and we are like in this decision, like. So he says that there is two way to deal with this: when in doubt, throw it out; when in doubt, keep it. So he's talking about actually trashing, like if you really want to keep some items, so you just ask yourself this question, like if you like whether you want to keep it or not, and if you are in a doubt, either you keep it or throw it. He says that trust your intuition or gut, that whether you should be keeping this thing or not. So you should totally, you can rely on your gut for that, and I think you're going to take a good decision, because most of the time actually our intuition works. So intuition is like the first thing that you have thought. You should not like go for another logical thinking, because next time you think something, you actually come up with logical ideas that okay, these are the reasons that I want to keep it. Maybe you suddenly think that okay, I'm not going to keep it, and suddenly your mind and logical thinking comes up and kicks in that, and it says that no, you should keep it. That happens. And here he talks about a really important stuff called the digital world, because our digital world offers a lot of things. Your cloud storage offers a lot of functionality, so it gets messed up very quickly. We put each and everything in our cloud documents, our Google Photos, and honestly speaking, guys, I'm talking about Google Photos. Google Photos like upload each and every photo that we take, either receipts or whatever we take, it directly automatically uploads there. And honestly speaking, guys, I don't check my Google Photos often. It just keeps backup of each and everything, including videos and photos, in a very high quality. But that's good. And also it's somehow bad that it does not help me see the good memories sometime. It's obviously send some uh, like a notification that you have some memories 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That's fine, but still I just, if I want to go ahead and see, then there is a lot of plethora of images. I just need to search through. Obviously I can search through people in there, but still it gets a lot of messy things, I would say. I can archive there, archive things in the Google Photos, but I just did not give that time in my Google Photos to actually sort them through. So my photos are like totally messed up. Although I have each and every photo stored there, so I can process it, but it just like it's just like an inbox that I really need to actually deal with. So it says that digital world actually gives us this kind of problem as well as a good thing as well, right? So because I can keep all of the photos without any worries, so in the Google Photos, but it's, I think they are actually getting rid of that free storage from June 2021 maybe, and I am really sad about that, because I do totally rely for my photos and videos on the Google Photos. Otherwise my phone would have been like blast. I don't have that much space because I took a lot of photos. I take a lot of photos from the social media, and in everyday day-to-day life I keep taking photos. I think I need to take a subscription if it is gone. Let's see, let me know in the comments whether you are going to take any kind of subscription for the Google Photos when it is out, right? So let's see. We in the processing section, you have this called, if you have something called like trashing. So trash we just read. There is incubating. So incubating is a fun thing. I think a lot of tasks, and it really happens with me, that generally creates a problem in my mind, I would say. So a lot of the tasks or the things that is there, I see in my inbox, I really, most of them are something that I really need to deal with it later, maybe someday, or maybe I don't know when. So maybe some some for some of the things I know the date, like I need to take the subscription. I need to cancel that subscription on that specific date. But other than that, I don't see any difference here. So he says that in these cases you need to put them in someday or maybe list, where you can deal with it later, or maybe you can put it in the tickler file that he talks about, like you write a date that okay, on that day I will be dealing with that. Or maybe you can put it in your calendar is the best place. So because we should be checking our calendar each and every day to see that what are the tasks, what are the things that we need to deal with this day. So if you put it in your calendar, you're not going to forget about it, because you are a guy or a girl who relies on the calendar. So if you're someone who relies on your calendar, you can put it on your calendar and see, okay, when suppose you in the 21st you really need to delete or cancel the subscription. So you just put it on your calendar, and whenever because you daily check your calendar, when you open it you will see that okay, I really need to check that, I really need to cancel that subscription. Then you can put this task in your to-do list, like wherever you actually maintain your task list, and set a reminder and maybe you can just delete the, cancel the subscription at specific point in time, right? So with that, he says a very nice thing here. I'm gonna read it. It's fine to decide not to decide about something. You just need a decide not to decide system to get it off your mind. So initially he says that okay, we should not go into this zone, like decide not to decide. That's the same thing that I given. But in this incubation thing, you should do one thing, like you should not decide about all of this thing. You just put it in your calendar or the specific date, or maybe you put it on the someday or maybe list, and just forget about it for now. Okay, because you're going to coming back to it at some certain point in time, maybe weekly or maybe monthly or whatever the system is, right? So yeah, that's fine. So you should not decide about this thing like in the incubation, right? Then comes the reference, and see how to deal with this reference. So he says that use your email folders or the label that we use in the Gmail. So you can use this to actually put all the stuff based on person, people, or whatever you call it, right? So he says that there are some things that maybe for the reference, and most of the stuff he says that we are not going to actually look back, but he still says that okay, maybe you need something for the future purpose, you just keep it. You don't know, maybe you need it after 5 years or 3 years, I don't know. Because on my case of laptop, I have the warranty, and I really need to keep this warranty on all that stuff on my email. So this is on my email. I really need to keep that email safe, so I just put it on a separate folder of my email, and that's it. I may never need to do anything with it if my laptop is okay. So but it's still there, right? It may be usable for in the future, I don't know, right? So you just keep these things away. So let me just see that how many pages that we are going to read today. Oh, there are so many. So it's 132, and okay, there are only 8 pages, guys, not so much. Well, I actually go through this problem each and every time when I add something to my to-do list or my to-do list is inbox. So the problem is like if I add a task and I just think about, I just don't add the next action about it when I'm processing this. Like, what is the next action that I really need to do to actually complete that task? So what really happened, let me give you an example. Actually, I kind of like fixed that issue recently. So honestly speaking, recently I really I was really getting emails from the Indian income tax income tax department that I really need to file my taxes. Then my you might be saying that I should be putting that in my to-do list, that okay, file my ITR, so that is the income tax return. But yeah, that may be the thing that I really need to do, but what is the next action? The next action is like I really need this like form 16 to actually file my IT return, and I don't have that form 16 to actually fill the form that is there in my ITR website, that I really need to put in all the things, right? So for that I really need to call my HR to actually send this file to me. So the first thing I really did is like those. So for me, the next action was like send your message, send your HR, sending my HR a message that I need my form 16. So that's my next action is, and you just need to put that next action there only. You don't need to go for like several actions that you are going to perform after that. You just put the next action and you move on to another task that is there lying on your inbox, and you just process that. So the process is like you just need to find your next action and attach that next action to the task with the in your inbox, right? So for that you really need to put in some thinking, some form of thinking, right? So if you're thinking that okay, I really need to take electricity on my name, so for that the next section is not like this, I take electricity on my name. So that's not the task. Maybe it's a huge, it's a kind of like a huge task which is going to, you can break it down, but the next action is like for me to call that person, just get the documents ready. So maybe just finding out what the documents really need to get ready. For that I may need to call someone who can guide me that these are the documents I need for that purpose. So my next section would be like call that person who know that which are the documents I need for that purpose, right? So that is the next section, that call that person only. That's it. So you're not actually giving yourself all of that huge task. So you're just keeping your next section very simple, and you're just attaching that task with your while you are processing it, right? Beautiful. Isn't it? Okay, so here comes the fun part. Like if you know that what is the next action is, if and you see that it takes like 2 minutes to complete it, do it. So suppose maybe you think that okay, the person that you need to call to get the electricity documents that you may need for your purpose, and you think that okay, that person might be available right now, and this will be like 2 minutes of job for you, and then you just call up this person immediately. You just don't delegate it, you just don't defer it you just do this immediately. And if you think that okay, if you're not the most appropriate person to do that, then you just delegate this task to others, right? So you just write it down that okay, I will need to delegate this whole task for this way. And then if it is something that you can't do immediately, right? So and it is going to take like more than 2 minutes, then you just defer it. You just put it on your calendar or to-do list, wherever you actually put in, right? So work to do later, right? So he's going to talk about like do it and delegate it and defer it in a detail. So let's see. So 2 minute rule is like when something you think that in 2 minutes you will be able to complete it, you just do it. So but he says that 2 minute is just a number, and you can tweak this number based on your requirement. Suppose you're doing processing your inbox at the evening, and you really need to go through this faster. You can cut down this time to 1 minute or maybe 30 seconds. So you can think of it like this: if any task that takes 30 seconds or less, you just do it. And he says that you should not this should not be like 100% proper guidelines at 2 minutes, but because if suppose you're calling someone, you can't really measure it like how many times, how many minutes that it might take. It might take longer or maybe lesser as well. So you just do it. If you think okay, just trust your intuition and just do it. And he says that you should not be a slave to your 2 minutes rule, like doing each and like doing each and every task that is just going to take 2 minutes of your time. So otherwise that you will be a slave of that 2 minute rule, because there will be a lot of tasks which and he says that you will be surprised at how many your critical projects may take only 2 minutes of tasks that you from your side, right? So he says that you should not be a slave to that 2 minute rule, but instead use this when you are actually processing your inbox only. So and if you have more time, you can set this time from 2 minutes to 5 or 10 minutes as well. Suppose you are just started, suppose you have given the whole weekend to yourself just to do this, then you have a lot of time. Then you can like go for like, if any task like take 10 minutes or less, then you can do it, right? But this will take some time to process it. The lesser you actually take time to process, right? Suppose you take like, give yourself like 30 seconds, what are the tasks that is going to take 30 seconds or less, you're going to do it. Then it is going to be faster processing for you, and it is obvious, right? So yeah, the thing is that just do not use up all of your energy. Just go see through this, whatever you can do, whatever you can't do, and you just put something. Maybe you are not good for something, you just delegate this task to others, people who can do this task better, right? So you just take this decision and keep working, right? Then comes the point of delegate it. Let's see. So delegation is all about like any task that is going to take more than 2 minutes, and you can't even you're not the good person to actually do this stuff. So you may can delegate this task to others. So that is the form of like delegation. So he says that if you delegate someone the task and you don't care about the result, that what is going to happen, right? Then you don't need to track anything, you just delegate this and forget about the task, right? Suppose you just need to send an email, send a gift box to someone, and you don't care that whether this gift box actually reaches to that person or not. I don't know whether the hell you should not care, but still, you don't care, then you don't need to do anything, right? You just hand over that box to someone else, you just delegate it, and you just say, okay, you just send this to the whatever the person it is. Maybe it's your hater or someone else, I don't know. But here's the thing, but if you really need to know that whether the item has been reached to that person or not, you really need to track that thing. So for that you need to you can label this thing as like waiting for, and suppose you're just write this waiting for waiting for whether this item has reached to Andrea or not. This can be anything, right? So yeah, and maybe you're waiting for reply from someone else. So he says that like w/f reply from Bob, so you put that into like pending stack. So you're just waiting for this person to actually reply you, right? So this way you can track this thing. That's awesome, right? So that is all about like delegation. So delegation is like not like all about like you just delegate and forget. In very less cases, maybe we don't care much about like this delegation thing. Suppose I trust my partner a lot, suppose, and I just tell him or her that okay, this is the thing that you really need to do. I'm not a good person to do it, you just do it. And that's his task then, or her task then, and I don't care about it, right? So that's a form of delegation. And some form of delegation can be like you really need to track that whether this person is going to reply or not. I'm just going to give a personal example here, because when I actually contact person for the podcast interview, I really need to track them, that whether I really need to follow up. I really need to send a system that okay, that my email actually there is a snooze option in the Gmail, where you can snooze any email and it will show up in your inbox if you really want them to show up, right? I really like this feature, and it actually makes me remember that whenever I send send an author or anyone for a podcast interview, I actually send them an email, and I set up a snooze for like 3 days and 7 days interval, and if they reply in this interval, then it's good. Then I don't need to do anything else. Otherwise, I just send a follow up email, or maybe I try to get some other ways to reach to them that hey, you need to check your email, right? So this is the way that you can use. This is called the delegation kind of, and yeah. So there is also a thing called defer it, and let's see what it is. Guys, I will be back in 30 seconds, so yeah, please wait. No, you can still read. You don't need to wait for me. There's a music going on. You can read it. Hello everyone, I hope you're reading. So I'm back again. Let's read. All right, so it's like then defer it all is all about like all the tasks that you should, or maybe you should be doing someday, or maybe in a specific date or a time, right? So these are all the tasks that is there, you need to deal with it, right? So you say it says that the pending things, all the pending things that will be left after you know defer it, and after you know do it for like 2 minute task, you're still going to have a lot of tasks that you may need to do later. So these are all the tasks that you will have, that it's like a pending stack. So these are all the pending tasks that you will be having, right? So these are all the tasks, and then you need to identify all the projects that you have, and you need to, you know, put put that stuff in that project. So this is all about like organizing stuff, and for that we need to really read this next chapter, which is about organizing, setting up the right buckets. So for that we need to organize stuff, but it was like processing, what are the processing that we really need to do. So yeah, I think we should have been read that you know, clarifying and organizing both of this chapter together, because I will be waiting for this. Anyways, I'm going to do the organization and processing you know, tomorrow anyways. So because tomorrow is weekend and it's fun, right? And I'll be posting some things, some special things on the Instagram as well, because I will be doing an Instagram live in Sunday. So I hope if you haven't followed me on Instagram, this is the you know, handle that you see right now on top of the screen, and I'll be giving the you know, link on the description of this video as well. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, and have a good day. So yeah, I hope we will get some things done. And with that, we have completed chapter 5 and 6 of this book, Getting Things Done by David Allen, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. And the book and link of this book is on the description of this video. If you want to purchase this book, go ahead and purchase, and I'm sure that you are not going to regret it. If you don't want to get the physical copy, you can get the Kindle ebook as well, because I think it's going to be helpful anyway, because you will you can, you know, like go ahead and see and review your notes regularly, because most of the if you're kind of like a digital person like me, and that will be helpful for you as well. But I really like sometimes for reading from paperbacks, and also it gives a sense of things like, okay, I'm reading this paperback, it's nice, right? The feeling is always good. So thank you so much for tuning in, have a good day, and keep reading.